Okay, good evening, everybody. You're through to episode coming up to seven. Yeah, seven of Camology, the Cambridge podcast. And I feel privileged, even humbled to be in the company of Neil from Cambridge Fruit Company. Sorry to embarrass you, Neil, but you so you were recommended. We were talking about you on the previous podcast of Paul Lane.
Right.
And he was singing your praises to the hilt. So Neil, do you want to give us? So we'll talk about why you are talk about what you're doing at the moment and
Yep.
everything you've been doing since the coronavirus has been hitting. But Neil, do you want to give
Yep.
us a bit of background on yourself? You're obviously from Cambridge, hence why you're on the podcast. But yeah, just give us a bit of background. Sort of, you're up, in
It
your early
depends.
years.
It depends how far back you want to go, Daniel. I can go back to when my parents first immigrated here as refugees in the late 60s and ended up in Cambridge.
That's going back a bit far, but sort of say, but
Might be.
you're a Chinton lad, aren't you? You're a Chinton lad.
No, quite right.
Ooh.
No, I'm a Chesterton boy,
Okay.
but my mum and dad didn't like Manor or Chesterton school, so they sent me to Netherhall. Hence why I have two groups of friends in Cambridge. I kind of know a lot of people in Chesterton and in Cherry Hinton.
So you're a Neverhall lad because I went to Neverhall sixth form. You see,
Ooh, how old are you?
because my parent. So I'm 30. The hairline suggests I'm like about 50, but now I'm 37. So you trumped
Oh,
me.
you really? Did I know you at school?
So I was.
You'd have been about 3 years younger than me.
I reckon, yeah. So yeah, I was in the same. I was in the same year
Sorry.
as Matt Dunn, Nick Impey. Do you remember those? So probably yeah.
I know the name.
Yeah.
I know the name, but I don't know. I don't think I know the people. However, if you only went to the sixth form, so what school did you go to?
I was Compton through and through.
Ah, right. So no, I don't think our paths would have crossed because I would have left the sixth form by the time you'd have got there if you're 37. I'm 41. I'm 41 tomorrow. Yeah, shit.
Happy
Sugar.
birthday. That's
Thank you
all
very
right.
much.
No
All
worries.
right.
That's all right. So you left Neverhall sixth form, and then did you go on to? Did you set the business up directly from there, or?
No. I went to university up in Leicester. I went to Demotford University, and I bummed around there for 3 years. And the nice thing about the degree course I was doing, the third year, it was like a 4-year course, but the third year was out in industry. So I went to work for a bank up in Nottingham
Hey.
for that third year. It's called a sandwich course.
Yeah.
And then but I did really well in that year. I sort of got on with a lot of people, and at the end of that sandwich year, they offered me a choice. So after I graduated, finally got my degree, I can go back and work for the bank, which is great, which is good. With hindsight now, I never took a year off. I never did the year traveling thing or anything like that, which a lot of people did. And I don't know. Sometimes I really wish I did take a year off back then. I don't know. And sometimes I don't. It's a funny old.
So you started. So you did your sandwich year.
I did a sandwich year. I went to work in London. I got made redundant in London after my kid was born. What happened then? I wasn't sure what to do. I phoned my mate, he also, he has a head for business. He said, "Neil, this redundancy is the best thing that will ever happen to you." I didn't really understand why at the time.
This is brilliant.
I spent 6 months bumming around with my redundancy money. It was very generous payoff at the time, and so I just had a lot of options. Then what happened?
So this is good because we can just get through this. So what happened is you bought your mobile van and you thought you were going to be a millionaire.
That's it, right? No, I was inspired by at that time, 2005. Jamie Oliver was doing all this healthy food eating stuff, turkey twizzlers, and all that stuff. Healthy eating in schools, and I was inspired by healthy eating. And I was inspired by my friend's parents who own a market stall in town. And I thought I could do something very different here. They were really successful. They were so good at it. And I could do something different here. So I spoke to my friend Bert and his parents. They were really, really nice. They took me to Spitalfields Market, middle of the night, and they just showed me around. They just showed me how to buy quality. Biggest lesson I learned from them is just always, quality will always win, beat everything in terms of custom and trade and business. Just try and keep your quality high and your standards high. And that's what I've always done. Is if you start cutting your prices and selling cheap crap, customers won't come back, and you'll have a reputation, and it's just a race to the bottom.
It's the classic. It's the classic thing. If you're always going to sell on price, you know you can. There'll always be some. It's a bit of a cliche, isn't it? But you're dead right. You know?
Yeah.
So then now we're going to find out. So it was Bert, but his granddad used to play for Cambridge United. We've got to find out. Yeah. So it was Crane, wasn't it?
Crane, yeah. I think he might have even been a Russell Crane. I don't know, because Bert's just had a son.
And Bert, and just to clarify, and Bert, what's Bert's real name? We got to give him a name.
Bert is Russell.
Okay.
There's Russell Crane, and his dad is a Russell Crane. I think his granddad might have been a Russell Crane who played for Cambridge United, but I'll leave that to you as a Cambridge United fan to find out.
I will. That's
Yeah. But yeah, they taught me so much. I owe a lot to that family. They're really, really nice people.
Nice. So then you were at the science park. So you were at the beginning. You were aiming towards residential people, and then that we talked about how that perhaps didn't work as it were.
No, it didn't work. No, it was very, very challenging. That was mainly because of the weather. Residential people, it just the order values were too low, and when there was a bad day of weather, you got a van full of perishable stock, and it just wasn't working. It was the mobile market stall thing.
Yeah,
just wasn't working for me.
So then you took your business more towards the science park, and yep. That was the start. That was the start of everything, really.
That was the start of everything. Yeah, that was it. Just flew. So I had this mobile market stall. I would stop outside a company on the science park, and the staff would come out. They'd buy vegetables for their dinner to take home.
Nice.
Because they might not have, because this is the science park, right? They might not wanted to go all the way to Tesco's for their veg at lunchtime or whatever. And I was bringing it to their door. And to their workplace, and it was just easy. And then they'd buy a bit of fruit to keep in the office. We'd just have a snack, punnet of raspberries, strawberries, whatever. And it went all right. And then it got to the point where the companies themselves were saying, Neil, can you deliver us a box of fruit? And we'll put it in our common area or our kitchen. Our staff can have the fruit for free. Just send us the bill. And it's really nice, healthy, well-being workplace thing.
Yeah.
And my first customer was actually Sony Computer Entertainment Europe. And funnily enough, weren't on the science park.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is only a few weeks after setting up my business, but then Sony, they sent me an email, and they'd seen the branding on the van. It's funny, I think I'm still in touch with her. I can't remember now. If it is who I think it is. They'd seen.
Did you think that was a joke at the time, like a new business and Sony won?
No. The exact email was, we spend £20 a day on fruit from Sainsbury's, but we'd like to use you. And it wasn't even can you give us a sample or anything like that, but we'd like to use you.
Nice.
I thought, bloody hell, that's 100 quid a week. 25 quid a week, 20, that's 100 quid a week on fruit. And that's without even doing anything. And it was Sony, of all people. It was an office full of games designers. And we supplied them for years in the end. Again, going back to that thing about quality, we supplied them. And the only reason we stopped supplying them is because they made all their staff redundant, and they had to, I don't know what they did. Their office basically isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So that was just the first of many, many, many. And then we built up to about 130-ish corporate customers in Cambridge.
Say that again, because that is a lot of hard. That's a lovely client base, mate. That is, yeah.
All in Cambridge, about 130, 140-ish corporate customers, including some really, really big brands that many people would have heard of. And then, so we just serviced them. And then also we serviced primary schools. I think about 5 primary schools, because we do veg as well. We looked after 5 primary schools, a handful of nurseries, some cafes. It just kind of grew and grew and grew, and that's how we did, and that's what we were doing for the last 14 years.
And that was word of mouth and the vans driving round and.
Yep, word of mouth, vans driving around, networking. I was a keen business networker. I love meeting people, talking to people. Lots of that, just a bit of everything really, and just the Cambridge thing. Cambridge is a really small place, right? As you know.
Yeah, it's the classic thing, isn't it? We started off the podcast, do you know this person? Do you know that person? That person's.
We went to the same sixth
form.
form.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah, I mean, we like to think we are like sort of another version of London, but we are a smallish.
It might be a city, but honestly, Cambridge is just a big village. If you're born and raised there, you know everybody, or you know of everybody. There is a distinct. I'm looking at your background picture of one of the colleges. There's a distinct town and gown divide. I don't know anyone at the colleges. I'll be honest, hardly anyone.
Well, it's a different world. It kind of is a different world, isn't it?
It is a different world. It's like a separate bubble within this city.
If you can get past the militant porters on the
Tell us. To be fair, I don't know if the public can still go into the grounds and stuff.
Some of it. I mean, I've some of the. Yeah, I mean, I
remember a few years not that long ago, because I think for Cambridge residents, it's free to go in and have a little mooch around. And I remember when you said about militant porters, actually, I had the friendliest one. I said, "Oh, I'm a Cambridge resident." I was showing some friends around, some from out of town. I think some friends had come up from America. Some friends visited from the States.
Wow.
I went to the porter and I said, "Can we visit?" And he said, "Are you a Cambridge resident?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "All right. Where do you live?" I say, "Sherborne Close." He goes, "What's your nearest pub?" I said, "The Golden Hind." Yeah, and he tested me and I passed it. I said, "The Golden Hind."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yep, all right." And then he let us in for free. So, they're militant, but I think the porters they're nice guys.
Happy days. So anyway, yeah, no, I love it. No, it's quality. I love it, mate. So you've so you're going nicely. Your client base is building up. You're on cloud 9 or cloudish 9. Being a self-employed person, it's never that rosy.
No.
And then dare I say, the coronavirus happened. And do you want to pick the story up there?
Oh man, yeah. So this was 4 weeks ago today, actually, that we had to change the game completely. So when was it now? I'm just looking at my calendar. It was around. Funnily enough, it was around Friday the 13th of March. That's roughly when it started. Over that weekend, I was getting emails and phone calls. Because everyone was being guided to work from home. And my market's the corporate market. And I make my money selling, delivering fruit into offices and workplaces. But slowly, over that week, leading up to Friday the 13th, everyone was cancelling and just saying, "We're working from home. Can we pause the fruit?" And that's what everyone was saying. And yeah, fine, no problem. Pause the fruit. But then Monday the 16th of March. It was horrible. It was like a bloodbath. It was just every time my emails were pinging at me, ping, ping, ping. Can we cancel the fruit? Can we cancel the fruit? Can we pause the fruit? Can we pause the fruit? And I thought, shit. I thought, what? Honestly, my heart was just sinking. I'd just taken someone on that day, Monday the 16th March, as well. I just recruited someone because I had some growth plans for this summer, and honestly, I was panicking. That Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 16th, 17th, 18th, I think, of March, I thought I was going to lose everything. I thought, because this business is my pension. It's everything.
Yeah.
And I was so scared, and I'd always had this idea bubbling away in the back of my mind, but I that Wednesday night, that's when I thought, I've got to implement. I can't lose everything, basically.
Yeah.
I can't lose my house. I can't lose everything I've worked for. I can't lose my pension. Can't lose my savings, because that's literally what it was. And the other thing was, the other thing driving me was there were murmurings of, government will give you this and 80% that and all this stuff. And I thought, the government is useless and inefficient at the best of times, right? I don't mean that politely. They're useless and inefficient at the best of times, all right? There's going to be how many big businesses are there in the UK? Small businesses, 1, 2, 3, 4 million. I don't know. I thought I'm not going to end up in that wheel of trying to get money out of the government and that cycle all the while, while I'm
and it wasn't free,
losing.
it wasn't grants, was it? It was like, oh, we're saving the, I don't want to get political, but it wasn't like, oh, we're putting money directly into your bank accounts. It was, well, we're going to give business loans and
Yeah. I thought, all right, there's no way I'm going to get into that. No, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So I thought that Wednesday night I spoke to my next. So I'm in a little warehouse here in on just off Nuffield Road, Chesterton. The warehouse next door is printing.com Cambridge.
Oh, Mr. Sell.
Yeah. So Billy works with his brother who runs Nettle Cambridge.
Yeah, no, Jake.
Young man, Mr. Jake Gibbs. I'm always bantering with Jake next door. I'm always bantering with them both. We're always popping next door. He's been there, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. He's only a kid as well. I love Jake. Absolutely love him. And
he's a little baby, isn't he? He's like a little Bambi.
He is. He's a baby. He's just a lovely, lovely kid to be around. It's just fun, and he's just great. So all during that week, I just kept asking him because he'd just done our website as well. But my website is just a brochure website. There's no e-commerce or no buying online or anything like that. And all week I've just been sort of asking him. I was like, is it going to be hard to change this or do that? And he was like, Neil, nothing's a significant problem. So on that Wednesday night, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to shift to the domestic market now because I'm going to have to shift to selling to Joe Public, what I've always referred to the public as. So we sat up here. Literally, Jake came and sat right there next to me, and he just made all the amendments. He added it. Very luckily, a month or two before, I'd set up a not go-cardless. What's the other one? Stripe.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about this, but I just set it up just randomly, thinking because I tell you what. No. I'll tell you why I set it up. A customer from Arm. We continue to supply a small department within Arm in Cherry Hinton. And a lovely lady there called Ramina. She thought, I'd really like to pay you by credit card. Otherwise, we have to. It's like 60-day account, 30-day account. I don't know. Yeah. So she forced me effectively. She's really nice. We joke about it because she's my first customer. She was my guinea pig. They spent quite a lot of money on fresh fruit for their department.
Nice.
So I set up the invoicing and everything so that she could pay by credit card, and that was just the knock-on effect of that was actually huge, because what that enabled us to do was enabled us to set up the website, the commerce site, really quickly. And when Jake, and obviously I'm quite a prolific tweeter as well. So that night, going back to that evening when I was stressed in and oh no, sorry, if I can go back to the Tuesday night.
Yeah, crack on. Yeah.
I couldn't sleep. I was really worried about everything. I couldn't sleep. I was just tossing and turning in bed. I was checking like the news and the Twitter feed and everything. And my wife was fast asleep next to me, and I just couldn't see a way out. I just started crying.
Oh mate!
I genuinely thought I've lost everything. I was just crying. And my wife woke up. She was just consoling me. She's like, Neil, we'll get through this and whatever. And I just didn't get a wink of sleep that night, and I was just really, really, really sort of sad. But I kind of knew in the back of my mind that serving domestic customers could be a way out. It turned out to be, in the end, the way out, which was great. So Jake came along. We managed to switch all the website. I keep looking over there as if it's still slightly there. We managed to switch the website around. He added a page. He added an e-commerce page. I took some photos of some produce. We just kept it really simple. And what has been happening was, as I said, I tweet a lot. I'd ask my Twitter followers, like, how much do you spend a week on fruit and veg? And we found two sweet spots. I found that families spend roughly 30 quid a week on fruit and veg on their weekly shopping.
Yeah.
Couples spend roughly 15-ish quid a week on their fruit and veg as part of their weekly shop. And I just found that out from, I must have had probably a few hundred replies.
So that's a fair sample though, isn't it?
Yeah. So I put together a family box for 30 quid. I put together what I call an essential box for 15 quid. Took some photos. I took them next door actually with Billy. I think Billy might have even taken one. I can't remember. Anyway, took them to Jake, emailed them across to him, and we put them on the website there and then. And all this, I was tweeting my way through the whole thing. I was saying, "No, Jake's just coming over now. He's going to do the website." I took a little picture of him, mate. I shit you not, right? As Jake was testing the site, because I was tweeting through it, as he was testing the site, orders were coming through.
Bloody hell!
Right. And he went, "Neil, what are you doing?" I said, I'm just tweeting. What are you doing? He goes, "Someone's placed an order." I go, "What?" Because someone has placed an order for, I think it was a £15 fruit and veg box. I was like, shit, okay. Right.
Carry on tweeting.
The orders were coming in. Orders started coming in. And then what happened? This was the magic thing that happened, right? This is the stuff that will make the hair on your back, that made the hair on back of my head go up. I had goosebumps. So I had this Twitter banter with this business guy, he's an investor in New York. I don't know him, never met him. He's a British guy. He lives in New York. And we just sort of joke around, mess around, and just sort of comment news stories and all that usual bullshit. And then my email popped up because during this time I wasn't checking the websites, but my emails were coming through. So and so placed an order. So and so placed an order. Something. So Jim Osman, his Twitter tag is Edge C Group, right? Cool. He placed an order. It was 5 fruit and veg boxes, the large ones, the family ones. So it's 150 quid's worth of fruit and veg. So I messaged him straight away. I was like, "You're in New York. Don't mess me around, man. What's going on?"
Yeah.
And he went, "Check your Twitter feed." And I checked my Twitter feed, and he commented, "Neil, I'd like to donate these 5 boxes."
Nice.
To the NHS and the vulnerable. Honestly, I get a lump in my throat thinking about it. And it was at that point, I had a lump in my throat. I started crying. I've got a lump now thinking about it. I started crying again. Because obviously that whole week had been a roller coaster, right? I'd gone from, losing my house, trying to let go of staff that I'd just taken on. My emotions were all over the place. And when I realised what he'd done, it just opened up this door. I knew it was just this magic formula, this jackpot, this bingo. I don't know what you want to call it, but I just knew it was like the giant sweet spot of everything where I get to keep my business, I get to keep my staff in work, I get to serve families at home who are isolating and can't leave. I get to raise money for charity. And it was just, what's going on? It just went mad. And then all that night, my emails, ding, 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 ding. It was like a ticker tape. So he ordered from New York. There was another lady, a Twitter follower from New Zealand. She was like, "Yeah, can you donate this to the NHS staff?"
So is it one of his Twitter followers or one of your Twitter followers?
No, it's one of my Twitter followers. It is one of my Twitter followers. And it just went insane. And it got to the point where the next day I woke up and I checked my emails, and it was just full of orders.
Mate.
Didn't know what to do. And then my next fear was, hang on a minute, we're about to get in a pandemic. What's going on? I'm not going to be able to service these orders. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the stock. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have enough. Just something as simple as have cardboard boxes.
Yeah.
Have I got enough vans? Where are these people ordering from? They're not all, they're not all central Cambridge, which is largely what we were serving before. Excuse me. Now I'm worried about, oh crap, right, how am I going to look after all these people? Because the one thing I hate doing, Daniel, I hate letting people down.
It's horrible, isn't it?
And the one message, the one thing I learned from that bank that bought, the bank that bought my bank, it's called GE Money. The one thing I learned from the short time I did work for them was about customer experience. Everything from that first point where a customer touches your business, for example, right through to right through to the purchasing, right through to the you turning up at their doorstep. Customer experience is everything. It's so important.
Yeah.
All it takes is one negative thing, one mouldy plum, one dirty van, one click on the website that they don't like, one thing to upset a customer. And so that's all that goes through my mind. Is customer experience. And I'm thinking, if all these people are ordering and I can't service them, that is a really bad first time experience. And they're all parting with their money they're all trusting me with their money to look after them at this point. If I can't look after them, like that's my brand out the window. I've spent 14 years building up this brand of these corporates trusting us, and we operate with integrity. We serve quality, and we've been trying to do that all these years. And I thought, if I can't service these customers, so I started panicking again. I'm like, So what I did, I had to turn off the website orders. I had to reduce the stock. So bearing in mind also, I didn't know how many I could sell. If a corporate customer turns up, I know exactly what I'm doing. We've been doing it for 14 years. And if they want 50 fruit boxes on a Monday morning, no problem. If they want 100 fruit boxes on a Monday morning, no problem. But I don't know if I can serve 200 customers tomorrow in this new market that I haven't even never served before. So it was completely arbitrary. I just didn't know if I could do it. So I turned the website off. Not turn the website off, but just turn the stock off on the website. Then we had to really evaluate what the hell is going on. And the first 10 days, 2 weeks was really, really challenging, really challenging. That's when we had to take on more staff. We had friends and family coming in. My wife was coming in and helping packing orders. We didn't know how much stock to order. I was ordering too many potatoes, not enough sweet potatoes, not enough salad. And all the meantime, we've got this pandemic going on as well, where suddenly lettuces might not have been available, or so much craziness was going on. And it was very, very difficult, very, very, very difficult. Now, things seem to be leveling out a little bit right now. One thing I did maintain was my social media, my Twitter, my LinkedIn, and Facebook. Facebook I never used. I used it for personal, but I never used it for business. So I set up a business Facebook page, but I'm so scared because do you remember that thing about quality and serving customers? My biggest fear is like Google reviews, and because I'm serving the public now. Yeah. I'm scared of Google reviews and Facebook reviews. All it takes is one person to have a dodgy tomato, and then they put it all over their Facebook page. Oh, Neil
you say
rotten tomatoes.
You say that, but and I'm not saying you're wrong, but you've got you obviously definitely you've got a loyal client base, people that have bought into you and the brand, and I don't know. I think somebody just being a keyboard warrior on Facebook. I don't know. Perhaps people take that with a pinch of salt. And
so here's the thing. I'm quite an emotional person, as you might have gathered.
No, I didn't gather, mate. No, didn't notice it at all.
So any negative feedback, personally, it genuinely gets to me. It cuts through to my soul. So if someone's got a dodgy bunch of grapes, or if someone's got something they're not happy with, that'll keep me up at night. Honestly, it will. We had, I'll give you an example. I think it's only day 5 or 6. We had a customer. She emailed. She said onions were soft. So I sent her. I think it was the back end of Harston, which is it's quite a round trip from here on the north side of Cambridge. Yeah. But I sent one of my staff with a bag of onions to replace her onions. It doesn't care. I don't care how much it costs. But to me, paramount is that customer's experience with the Cambridge Fruit Company. Yeah. It might have cost more. We might not have made any money on the order, but that lady's happy. Hopefully, she'll be telling her friends. Yeah, and she's returning for more business. Too
right.
So that's kind of my ethos, and that's where we're at right now.
I've got to take a breath now. I've been emotional with you. Oh dear.
That's where we're at right now. We haven't even started talking about the charity stuff, the donations, and all that kind of stuff.
Do you want to? Should we talk about that? The next 10 minutes?
Have you? Yeah. I'm not that bothered about time now because I'm quite into it.
Crack on, yeah. We could go.
Yeah, fine. So the charity thing happened almost immediately. But I had no connections in the charity, so I asked. There's a counsellor here in Arbury called Alex Collis, and I've had a great relationship with her for a long time. Friendship with her. She's the most selfless lady you ever meet. She's every weekend. She's given up her weekends cooking for charity. Food Cycle is where I met her because we used to donate our waste fruit and veg.
Yes.
She'd be cooking for homeless or people with mental health issues or just anyone who couldn't get a meal, basically.
Sorry, can we name check her again, please?
Councillor Alex Collis, Collis. Name check again because she's an amazing, brilliant, selfless, fantastic woman. Nice. And what was her name? I forgot now. Yes. So I asked her. I tweeted her. She has connections with charities all over Cambridge, and the first one she replied with was because it's a vulnerable family. That's right. So one of Jim Osmond's tweet was, "Can you help a vulnerable family?" Or the NHS, I think it was. I don't know any vulnerable families. Where do you start? She said, try the Red Hen Project, which is a project which is specifically based in the CB4 postcode.
Yeah.
And they have a link to the primary schools here. So Shirley, Grove, King's Edges. I can't remember the other two. Forgive me, Sarah, if you're watching this. But through the primary schools, they're aware of the vulnerable kids, the vulnerable families, right? And then so she was involved in the Twitter conversation. I said, right, I'm going to have these are how many orders we've had. These are how many donations we've had for vulnerable families. Will you come and collect them on whatever morning? So she turned up. I think we had about 10 or 12. And she was blown away. Again, I was tweeting my way through this. I was tweeting pictures of the boxes that we're going to do. She was completely blown away. I don't know what they'd been doing up until that point. I don't know who'd been donating or whatever, but from the conversation, the first conversation I had with her, the impression I got was it was basically supermarket cast-offs that supermarkets had been donating in terms of food.
Yeah.
But she was like, look, what can I do with a crate of sparkling water? How's a poor family with 5-year-old kids or a single mum with 3 young children, what's she going to do with sparkling water or bread? They always get donated bread. That's what she told me.
Yeah.
She goes, Neil, this is amazing because we were making up normal fruit and veg boxes, which we would serve to a normal Cambridge family. Yeah. So it would contain things like, potatoes, sweet potatoes, avocados, spinach, just all nice stuff that you and I would probably think is quite normal, but to a vulnerable family, with not a lot of money to spend.
Yeah, too right. I mean,
Sarah is really appreciative of these guys are getting good, healthy food. Punnets to blueberries. Do you know what I mean? Wow. These guys were getting normal stuff that you and I wouldn't think twice about getting in a supermarket, and it's healthy, and it's not a supermarket cast-off. So I don't know how many boxes. It's been 4 weeks now. I don't know how many boxes we've done for them, but they're here every other day, and their boots are full. And we've done a lot, and a lot of families around this specifically. It's lovely. The irony is, I grew up in CB4, right? Off Green End Road.
Yeah.
This is where the families are being helped immediately within the side streets here, and it's just amazing. It's really going down very well.
And then I believe I saw on your Twitter feed about going into Addenbrooke's as well.
Oh, mate, then there's Addenbrooke's, right? So, again, lots and lots of donations. Customers were clicking online. They're having a family fruit and veg box for themselves. And I was saying, right, can you please donate one to the NHS frontline staff? Brilliant stuff. So what we were doing, we were taking the fruit and veg boxes, but we were taking the veg out and just putting more fruit in, because a fruit and veg box isn't that useful to, I think, a nurse in ward, whatever.
Yeah.
So whereas basically a fruit bowl in a box would just turn up and they can themselves and start eating. So the first obvious thing I did was get in touch with friends who I knew worked at Addenbrooke's, and also Twitter. Again, Twitter. There was a nurse called Petra. Forgive me, Petra. I can't remember your surname. And she said, "Yep, come along." I think I had about 10, 12 dozen boxes, something like that, fruit boxes. Her and her colleagues, they came downstairs, had a quick photo. Thank you, and it was really lovely.
Nice.
And then that just grew and grew and grew. And then I went through friends, and I was meeting them through their walls, and I was asking on Facebook, does anybody know anyone who works at Addenbrooke's? I'd love to, I've got 10 boxes of fruit here. I'd love to bring them to your department. That was going well. And then a friend of mine from school, she shared that same request on some kind of internal NHS Addenbrooke's Facebook page, where it was picked up by the gentleman called Alex, he's basically in charge of all the charity stuff. And I don't know where Thank You Thursday came from, whether it's a higher up NHS thing, but he's basically in charge of, and it's really helpful now. So what it means, long story short, I can take all our donations, and instead of me going to individual wards and putting my own safety at risk, which is a bit of a shame because I like going to individual wards, I take it now to this one central location at the Franklin Centre, and then their staff there distribute it.
Nice.
among Adam Brooks, and it's not just going to the front line. It's really nice. It's going to the porters, it's going to the facilities teams, it's going to the cleaners, it's going to basically everyone who makes that massive machine work at Adam Brooks, which is really nice. So yeah, the last week was 60 donations, 60 boxes. And this morning I took 100 boxes over. 100. Wow. Even I was blown away. I was expecting another 60, 70, but I did the numbers yesterday and there's 100 boxes there. Mad, isn't it?
So it's all it kind of all stemmed from Jim, got you thinking about
Jim Osmond, yeah. So on Twitter it came from Jim, but on LinkedIn it actually came from someone else called Katrina Khalifa. And I'll credit her for this because she absolutely deserves it. So she was we supplied Barclays Eagle Labs on Mitchell's Corner. With a fruit box every Monday morning, I think it was, or Monday or Wednesday, I can't remember now. I think it's every Monday morning. And then she emailed us one morning to say, we're all working from home now, coronavirus, all that stuff. But instead of delivering our fruit, instead of cancelling our fruit box, can you drop it off to the Red House Surgery, which is just up the road, on Chesterton Road, just the GP practice. And I thought, what a good idea. And I happened to LinkedIn it at the time, but not thinking of the ramifications that were going to happen from that one suggestion. So that was her suggestion, a brilliant suggestion. So it's a combination of Katrina and Jim. One on LinkedIn, one on Twitter, and it just went...
And now you're working 20-hour days and...
Mate, for that first 6 weeks, for the first 2 to 3 weeks, it was, honestly, I was doing 80, 90-hour weeks, weekends, trying to figure out e-commerce, trying to figure out the website, trying to rectify our mistakes, because we made so many mistakes, man. It was just so difficult, so challenging, not difficult, challenging. Trying to rectify stuff, trying to get systems in place. It was very, very difficult. And then I've not mentioned my sister through all of this. So my sister runs this business with me.
Okay, yeah. I thought she did, I had the back of my mind that she was...
Yeah, so she runs a business with me, but she's not a massive social media... She does a little bit of Facebook and all that stuff, but she's not a massive social media person. But we've generally always said that I'm the front end, I'm the sales and networking and all that stuff, and she's the back end. Because she does all the admin and stuff, which I flipping hate doing. I hate admin, honestly. She does payroll, admin, banking, staff contract, all that stuff. That's her.
Every business needs that, because it just...
I hate all that. Honestly, I can't emphasize enough how much I hate that. I like doing this kind of stuff. What was my point? Yeah, so she basically... I haven't told her any of this. Do you remember back to that Wednesday night that was here with Jake and all the side blooding? I hadn't told her any of this, right? Bless her. So she walked into a shitstorm on Thursday morning. Like, what the hell is going on? And then so she's just been doing everything, trying to sort out staff, recruiting, and vans. We had to, rent more vans and all that stuff. And she's just been smashing that end. Well, I've just been trying to keep our profile up and just trying to make sure the donations come in and we carry on, keeping our staff employed and all that. And all this while serving the community. It's just been an absolute roller coaster. It's funny this interview is happening. It's exactly 4 weeks today. It all kicked off. And here we are.
I don't know. It's at this point where I want to sort of kind of wrap it up and just say,
I do want to go home and have my dinner now.
No, you got to stay here for 3 hours, mate. You're not leaving. You're not leaving. Right, top man, Neil. Top man. All right. So, can you tell people your Twitter handle, your LinkedIn, give us all your information. Come on.
So Twitter handle, Mr. Neil B, Neil B. There's another Twitter handle, Cam's Fruit Co, which I never tweet from, and it's just there's just no point anymore because it's me now. What's the other one? Facebook page, Cambridge Fruit Company, website, cambridgefruitcompany.com. Did you ask for something else?
And Twitter, LinkedIn. Facebook.
LinkedIn. LinkedIn is just me, Neil Bharadwa. You find me on there. I'll tell you what, I'm crap at Instagram. I have to get my kids to do Instagram for me. I just don't get it, and I should because there's a big reach, but I just don't get it. I try, but I'm crap.
I don't know. I don't know. It's horses for courses, really, because I'm into my LinkedIn. I'm into my Instagram, but I don't know. Twitter does nothing for me. Do you know what I mean?
It probably would do it for me if I knew what I was doing. But to me, all the logos on there, they just don't mean anything. Triangles, little paper airplanes. You've got a message. I'm like, I look at a message and it just makes no sense at all. And now I'm trying to run 2 accounts off Instagram as well, and it just makes. I don't get it. I need a lesson on Instagram because.
All right. If there's anybody out there that's knows Instagram and can give him give Neil advice.
Thanks, Daniel.
Can't little Jake down there? Can't he do it? Can he?
Yeah, he should do because he's a millennial, isn't he? Or a Z lister, not Z lister, Z Gen, Z generation, isn't he? Yeah, basically, everyone under 30 is really good at Insta, but mate, I'm 41 tomorrow. I have no idea.
If I said TikTok to you, you got to get on TikTok. That's the next.
I know how to dance. My son is always doing this. You're trying to have a conversation with him. You got kids, Daniel?
I got 2 dogs. That's the closest I can come to kids.
All right. So trying to talk to kids now, all children under the age of about 14.
Just want to dance and just
talk to them, and they're doing all this dancing.
Yeah. Get with it, Neil. Get with it.
And it's all TikTok, and I'm like, what the hell?
But TikTok's but TikTok's going to become the next Facebook. You see, Facebook started out like that. You heard it here. You heard it here first, Neil. This is useful information I'm giving you.
Someone think of a banana dance or something for me, and just do it, and then.
Oh yeah. All right. I don't know. Hook you up with what's the dance company just off Parker's Piece? What was the College of Performance Art? Perhaps they'll do something. Yeah,
we'll hook something else. We didn't have the one where Jack the Gladiator went to.
Jack the who?
Jet the Gladiator.
Oh, Jet the Gladiator.
I'm sure she get there.
What, Diane Modell? Yeah, she was my favourite.
Oh, easy. You remember her name?
Yeah, too right.
Diane Modell. Yeah, she went. I'm sure she went to a dance school off, just off Hills Road somewhere, wasn't it?
I think
Eastern Road, somewhere around there.
Neil.
Cambridge talk. This is Cambridge talk.
All right, so let's wrap it up. So we'll get the banana dance sorted for you.
Yeah,
speed it up for that, and all right, we'll digress for the next 2 hours. So we'll wrap it up there, shall we?
All right, cool. We'll have a beer soon.
Good old boy. Top man.
Bye, mate. Thank you.
There. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.